Close your eyes for a second. Picture the absolute highest peaks of the Himalayan mountains. The air is freezing, the fog is insanely thick. The wind is just howling around you. Now, it's gorgeous, but it is completely unforgiving. And hidden deep within these remote towering peaks is a dark, frozen secret that has honestly baffled scientists, historians, and explorers for decades. Today, we're opening the case file on one of the most terrifying and bizarre crime scenes ever discovered. In this explainer, we are heading straight into the chilling mystery of Skeleton Lake. Okay, so picture the year 1942. A forest ranger named H.K. Madwal is hiking high up in the Nanda Devi National Park. He is 16,000 feet up in the freezing air. To put that into perspective, that is literally miles up in the sky. He was up there looking for rare wildflowers, but instead, he found an absolute nightmare. As he stepped around a small, frozen glacial lake, hollow human eye sockets stared right back up at him through the ice. And it wasn't just one person. As the snow cleared, he stumbled upon the scattered, frozen remains of up to 800 human skeletons. They literally littered the rocky shores of this tiny lake. Section 1. Spies, Plagues, and Curses. The first suspects. So keep in mind, it was 1942. World War II was raging, and British authorities absolutely panicked. Who were these dead people? Wild theories exploded immediately. Was it a secret Japanese invasion force? Well, no, there were zero weapons or uniforms found anywhere. Okay, what about a lost trade caravan? Nope, there were no pack animals, and frankly, this was a terrible, deadly route for trading anyway. What about a mass grave for plague victims? Ruled out. There were no historical records of a plague wiping out 800 people up here. Right, then maybe a ritual mass suicide? Highly unlikely. They found men, women, and children all mixed together. Basically, every single early guess completely fell apart. Moving on to Section 2, the Hailstorm Massacre. A legend comes to life. For years, this investigation was a total dead end. But then science stepped in. Radiocarbon dating proved these bones were ancient, like really ancient. They dated all the way back to the year 850 CE. With science pointing squarely to the 9th century, researchers started digging into local history, and they found this chilling local fable. It's about a king who took a dangerous mountain pilgrimage, but he was arrogant. He brought dancers and luxury goods, completely disrespecting the local mountain goddess. In her absolute rage, she whipped up a furious blizzard. She punished the king's party by pelting them to death with iron balls from the sky. Honestly, it sounds like a pure fairy tale, right? But then, researchers looked closer at the bones, and things got really crazy. They found very strange, unhealed, blunt force trauma on the skeletons, but it was only on the tops of their skulls and their shoulders. They found 0 sword cuts, 0 arrow wounds. The cracks perfectly matched strikes from lethal, giant, cricket ball-sized hailstones. The myth was actually a terrifying reality. Those iron balls from the sky were a catastrophic hailstorm that caught the pilgrims with absolutely nowhere to hide. But you might be wondering, why were 800 bodies piled up in one exact spot? The answer is something called a geography trap. You see, the terrain around Skeleton Lake is incredibly steep on all sides. Over hundreds of years, every time there was an avalanche, a landslide, or a massive storm, gravity basically acted like a giant funnel. It naturally swept any bodies that died higher up on the mountain ridges straight down into this single central basin. That's exactly how centuries of scattered bodies all gathered in one terrifying pile at the bottom of the lake. Section 3, the impossible DNA twist, the 2019 science study. So, for a long time, everybody thought the case was closed. But in 2019, scientists ran modern DNA testing on 38 of the skeletons, and the results completely shattered everything we thought we knew. There wasn't just one single group of victims down there. There were 2 entirely different groups. Group A was South Asian. They ate a local diet of millet, which perfectly matches those 9th century pilgrims from the hailstorm. But Group B, they totally blew scientists' minds. Their DNA traced back to the Mediterranean. They closely matched modern-day people from Greece and Crete, and their diet was mostly wheat and barley. These people were from thousands of miles away. But wait, the ultimate plot twist was still hiding in the bones. They didn't just come from different parts of the world. Advanced science revealed that these 2 distinct groups of people died at the exact same location, but their deaths were separated by 1,000 years. Let's just walk through how wild this timeline actually is. In 850 CE, Group A, the South Asian pilgrims, are absolutely crushed by that freak hailstorm. Then a whole millennium goes by, 1,000 years. Fast forward to around 1800 CE. Group B, the Mediterranean travelers, mysteriously arrive at the exact same freezing mountain lake, and they die too. They likely froze to death in a sudden blizzard. Two totally unrelated tragedies, 1,000 years apart, happening at the exact same tiny spot on the map. And just to make it even weirder, they found a third group, Group C. But it was just one single person, one skeleton from Southeast Asia, traveling alongside the 19th century Mediterranean group when they all froze to death. Total strangers from across the globe dying together in the middle of nowhere. Which brings us to section 4, a mystery left alive, the fading clues. We know exactly how the ancient pilgrims died, but we still have absolutely no idea why 19th century Mediterranean travelers were climbing 16,000 feet up the deadly Himalayas. There are no historical records, no local stories, just their bones. And honestly, the worst part, our window to solve this is closing really fast. Skeleton Lake is now flooded with unregulated tourism. Hikers are physically destroying the crime scene. They pick up the bones, they rearrange them to take cool photos for the internet, and worst of all, people are literally stealing the skeletons as souvenirs. Every single time a bone is moved, a fragile clue is wiped out forever. Which leaves us with this final haunting thought. Why did a group of Greek travelers wander into a freezing blizzard in the Himalayas hundreds of years later? What on earth were they searching for? And as they lay there, freezing to death in the snow, did they have any idea they were taking their final breaths right on top of a graveyard of ancient bones? This explainer really just scratches the surface of this unsolved puzzle. The mountains are keeping their secrets. And for now, the true story of Skeleton Lake remains frozen in time.